poultry feed. And what would budget in a poultry for? And what would budget to be? We are not getting Shana.
Oh, I know a cry brimo. And right, yeah, budget now.
The fine. And that's all.
So I'm out to Ninkunim budget.
Okay.
Ninkunim for them into the budget when I did break 8, no.
I think so.
Yeah. So when you look at the whole thing that was presented yesterday, and baby Sam said, is it a party in power or crowd the mantra so people will break 8, you know? And I said we are just in any ordinary year. If I say just like me a 2021 and that's saying. But this is the budget we are saying as a political party in power. To me way in same as you be lose to me na ye never home can be lose to me no. Near the budget we were talking about things a budget. I don't know what the thoughts and things that went into it because me no my position baby I make no say MPP dey woman no you will say no cry e da ho a e be kasa no cry no sa honorable honhom no e den e we mu because you ask yourself say that including budget we are a boss on no tax relief yeah indicate another pam boss nyina no o why na say me cut too much before say to us no echia atifo nyina teach me constituency for ati womantin for and a pecha mu nyina e na reform here and a pecha obia enti no why said make am say sir including budget we da hono what was the thought that went into it 8 tax relief near that was it the expectation of the ordinary Ghanaian and now or when you say you be presented tax now or no expectations are or one the expectation be met by this tax presentation now we ask ourselves say is that the case is that what we experienced yesterday that was not so because tax relief now some pay very few of them they are really even involved in what we are doing currently or minor because our electric cars here are commercial even private electric cars commercial electric cars now can want some say we are going to put up technology in the systems are the charge those things are not available as we speak. And to can say, oh, pay assembly can't show, say the at least you be never be to say, a bankrama, this tax relief. Issues on the sanitary part near the end of the year, it is long overdue. Some of us, time of mucha road tools in Milan, we are so much not in agreement with this. Oh, your money, oh, pay, quanya you, obey tax more. There any other means are Emma or Sikabiano. Before so hot that process, you should make sure, say, you have other alternative means how they jiska. And one of the expectations of most Ghanaians, and then they will reintroduce the rotos. It's not surprising. Say, idea you when they say a nuisance now. Nipan so press one facade in the day. Embra because we are in an era that we are taxing and taxing and taxing. Believing said that is what is going to build the economy up. When we have made promises that we are going to move from taxation to production, which we are not doing that as at this time. Other issues are people are looking forward. Not a expectation. Nipe here ni mundrano. Say projects that hold for over the years, because of say IMF. No, one of those projects are me. Very particular to me. Say I think we maintain this and say I think the population is almost about 200,000. A chrono and your constituency no. The town has about 200,000 people. Comprising of a man in Bimano. Osha, no create CC, they don't have potable drinking water, say, Ubia Soran Opa, or call if you, or could be tap, say, MB. When this constituency is also an orphan constituency in the year 2016 but 2020, a winning year. So, in anticipation, say, Behe Musica, the better say, strategically, say, the budget we be to say budget at the elections. There are certain points of the economy you should have touched, certain things that are very dear to the people, you should have touched them. I say what is happening in General Hospital. No? It may be issues, how we want people to cry over it as if say we are doing them any good. The hospital was pulled down in the year 2020, and the promise was made about 2022. The hospital will be completed as we speak. Look. Oh, I saw the debut out here. See the number of demonstrations and any pickets and akoso and Sunday. Do we always need, especially for things that social amenities at hospital, in Suoni Adia Yakamasi? Say, would 2% at the before, sorry, and may the dance and Yatani to Mana. This is some of the things we should touch on. Say, you say you couldn't budget and palm. You are giving tax incentive to sanitary pad and those things. It is very laudable. I was also expecting, say, in the bid to improve this economy, I cut down importations and make the city stronger. I was looking at for say there would have been some other suggestions and options. Say, and yeah, anyone or maybe import substitution company be Ghana. We are also going to give the person tax incentive or tax relief. And now over the weekend, no, be to come and quote my member. Udu akomada ni aka say any company na individual person put up a tomato factory or any agriculture factory biya no yeah man a tax incentive of this country. In the bit of saying they are doing this, you are actually going to create employment. If you're not even going to tax the company, you are going to take taxes from the people, and by creating employment, which is also going to stabilize the city. These are some of the things because we are in a situation now. Most of our Ghanaian expectation is that you be creating jobs. So see, if you more tax incentive to some of these things, you see the tax, you really tax on importation of agricultural machineries. In a bit of that, by extension or by integration, you should also go ahead and say that people that want to go into serious agricultural businesses, companies, manufacturing companies, we are also giving them this incentive. Do you know the kind of euphoria it has created? Those are mining here then, but with this notion, say, yeah, ma akwenya ma obi factory na company, a bit me find 2,000, 3,000. Yeah, ma tax holiday for 8 years or for 5 years. Nipa na enyesika direct into bottom, but what that's what say. These are the companies that can come up based on this presentation.
Okay.
It's a budget. But some of us in the MPP who are also thinking, say, it is possible to break the kind of crash the Akoso party meaning, But we were looking forward for some things that ABA and say are buying direct investment. But say it many people say, you better some reliefs, We would have put those reliefs also into the establishment of new companies. Because Aban is not employing how many people, but the whole economy is being run by the private sector.
Okay.
And you should also consider, because one of the expectations are now importers and exporters, they didn't have it. Now the pot is there. People are not bringing in goods because you saw taxes and almost 17,000 taxes in importers and exporters. So. And people are evading taxes. I think we are in the next round, We'll be talking about some of these.
Okay, you are Shadrach for your business executive for Ken and Odame, budget statement and finance minister, ultimately, cranium importers, or portion of the encounter expected from the finance minister. Okay.
I met you what you for I'm a business executive for Ken members. The full BB or don't say maybe some sounds with Chiaro. Now, the two, my sons with Chia, young papa. Kwame a compreko, Agyapong.
All right.
That's checking. A Thanksgiving, you show that as you know, who I say.
There be no home for me.
That's a cow of us here.
Papa. Also for friends, that's Saturday.
A drunk of in a digital honorable Kenna. Will be a well elections crash. Doma, I was watching home. Many especially Claire Road, in the next 3 years, no best another showdown. And my manager, Papa, meet you on my door. The Bebochi dom, you'll be Biano. You better wait till said in Yamia Shafa on Biano.
Okay.
Andra, on my for the sound for a era Kenofriata or the budget statement for 2024. The budget are basically projections the following year. ACK buying to against expenditure. The team in pursuing growth and development within a stable macroeconomic environment. I'm feeling budget. Now, a buying proposes for the end of the year 2024, Obenya 176 billion 414 million Ghana cedis. That is the revenue projection. Out of this, 77% in Kwa comes from tax, non-oil tax, 77%. And the expenditure, how much are we looking forward to expending? 226 billion Ghana cedis, 681, which means expenditure now, you expect say you be expending. It far outweighs your revenue by 50 billion Ghana cedis, 267. Projections for income generation are falling short of expenditure no. You know, always you're running budget deficit. And then of course a year compensation of government workers in Kwan, a year buying you my for Sika buying it to your account Kwan, and for me 28% of the revenue generation. And secondly, interest payment, a year basically a kwaji wa mama yasono. Also for me 25%. Into a kasa minu we nkwabuma a D Sika no more than half.
Okay.
And that is why a cementing in fact say it was a buying establishing a system whereby economic indicating very, very favorable for private individuals to also employ a chunk of the populace. Because the private individuals know enough resources. Now exchange rate here, cost of capital or former. You bet me employ a lot. You bet more pressure on government to employ, you know. And so better nice scanner is trying about me actually into other sectors Secondly, interest payment. You kwaji besia. Besia kwa yimbi se Hawaii. Yenya home faswana. Yabako hang. Yabako besia ne dia kosi saglame project. Ni ye jaho. Principal na yintimi ntua. Ni ye sanso tua interest. Inti see ye hwe ni na non-performing loans na. A cost 25% off the total revenue no. So be bafom kra. And now we compare 2022 to by the end of 2023, we say there has been some relatively drop in the depreciation of the cedi.
Okay.
By the end of 2022, it was 37.5%, and at end of 2023, 22.9.
Okay.
The firm all the way see the depreciating, but I think the rates declining.
Okay.
Due to these factors, inflows from the mining sector, any oil companies, revenue free mining sector, any oil sector buy,
Okay.
And now once I have to first tranche of
the $600 million now.
And I go for oil, no. It brought in $800 million.
Okay.
And then the see the depreciation, no. SOT, no. And you say, I say, as a miner, you rely solely on money from IMF, any just one sector, oil sector, to make our city robust. And was say you putting in structures, holistic structures of the entire economy, no, all sectors, being it agriculture, being it service sector, being it industry, no, will be performing very well. There'll be high productivity. You know, one of the basic things that stabilize the city, no, is about demand and supply. If you have excess supply of dollars, a price no above form. It also a buying a good form. Now production increase, now exporting more of our produce and the foreign exchange beba na city no abrasi. On the budget in there very broad, but for the sake of business community which I represent, you know, I'll touch on a few policies about indicating say going to 2024 no or be implementing na abwa businesses. First one, a promotion of exports.
Okay.
In the 2024 budget no utia aban say obe promote a lot of exports in collaboration with the free zones any Ghana Export Promotion Agency. Yeah, by say Obeshemo Kena. Now, additionally, in Sobel lines, say 64 companies.
Okay.
Now, are promoting exports. I think it's in the right direction. And our people be increasing earnings from 8 billion, from 1.8 billion to 2.19 billion by the end of 2024. And secondly, so I say obey increasing the capital investment of free zones companies no from 131 million to $370 million by the end of 2024. And to say abide the OCA I think say ebeboa in the export sector. Okay. And additionally so at the 5,000 more jobs and so ebeba aboa na unemployment and so as what it. Secondly, about also kasaba access to finance for local businesses. It was one of the key facts I may realize they were budgeting. Aban said through the Development Bank of Ghana, any consolidated bank, any venture capital, or no loans are accessible. But I'm also thinking say it's not only about accessibility, cost of the capital, no, or say a form. Because we make loan accessible, now we charge 40% interest, still expensive to the private businessman. So fine, it's in the right direction, so we make loans accessible. But the interest rate, you know, I would say a buffer, send a bear, you might afford loans to be numbered to me. Thirdly, they talk about the youth start program. A program my mebo no depend solely on abenyuma. Free school but obi able to establish the businesses. Until Aban say obe employ 1 million youth in the 2024 budget. those within 18 to 40 years no advance of the through training funding and technological support and so now we use school pay now what me I establish you and it's not only for status, it's also about more business more here capital and others and so we need collateral advance of gumina collateral also we guarantee na me actual okay. And one other thing advance of accelerate the digital economy with the Baumia area or see make sure say Abang collaborate with TVET, technical and vocational institutions, no, and they also collaborate with Google, MES, Andela, and other companies. And they pay the youth with the technological acumen. So they are meeting me as the abreast of time. Last but not the least, tax reliefs. One of the critical things that we share from the budget tax reliefs. We share more. Import duties, no. Let me say, I buy answer that and can share. Now, emum or say a friend is saying, a companies are a produce sanitary pass, no. A year import on more free. I'm on any banner obey wavy import number one and a VAT and so on the same sanitary pass and so obey so our wave, which means a Bema locally produced sanitary pass are cheaper. I think it's in the right direction. So we a starter now per se who enter into any business may recommend the sanitary pass amount because for the next 8 years no are buying so be wavy if any say import duties amount. And secondly, I think it's our buying person or shifted from a year petrol and diesel cars no, to electric cars. I think it's a lot double. But you say as of now no, what is the percentage of electric cars in the system? Also, what the policy be by so we drain the masses now. Policy ain't in favor, but it's all drain the chunk of the masses now. How well a policy no ever bomb. Electric cars here be and we have the capacity, the energy capacity to accommodate those electric cars coming in now. And all those in the right direction because they protect the environment, you know, from pollution and what have you. But I was saying carbon so didn't share. Yeah, you see petrol and as diesel cars. I think it's also an area also a
all right, we the course on Mnashebedjem a year 2024 budget statement and economic policy by the finance minister and I digested into the matters and some related issues that were raised in connection with the 2024 budget. And I mean, about a poultry farmer, about also import suits near the identity. Ultimately, a tomole mobile, a bankuko, Safibian Quarria, poultry, a biometric say tons to do a rainy at the Obepe at Tibeban in our home, at Mamanian Kratosima, Marco Emra, a bar.